you say to the people who in your constituency who might feel like, hey, why are we doing this? What's the big deal with this sanctuary city thing? If people are illegally in the country, shouldn't we arrest them and get rid of them? What is the big deal?
Yeah, we are, again, we're the safest city because we're safe for everyone. In a community where over a quarter of your residents were born in another country, if people are afraid to drop their kids off at school or call 911 when they need help or share information when they actually have information to report about a crime that happened, that makes everyone less safe, whether or not you are an immigrant, whether or not you're here in this country 6 generations or just arrived. So we're really focused on being that home for everyone, and it's worked. And so all of the buzz around, whether these kinds of cities that are more welcoming for immigrants are more dangerous, it's about a false narrative that immigrants are somehow more likely to commit crimes or cause harm, and that is just simply not true. We know that in our city, where our immigrant communities are entrepreneurs, are holding up the best hospitals in the country, the universities and jobs that we all rely on. And in order to make sure that we can keep that progress going, everyone has to feel part of it.
Boston Mayor Michelle Vu is under a lot of scrutiny for her possible connections to the CCP. Borders are Tom Homan promises to bring hell to migrant criminals who are in the country illegally. And New York State Attorney General Letitia James may be in some pretty big legal trouble as newly discovered documents of possible fraud have popped up. Now, I hope you guys are ready because we got a lot of controversy to talk about today, okay? Starting with Sanctuary City Mayor Michelle Wu. Now, Wu is an avid supporter of illegal immigrants. She's willing to spend so much money on them that she doesn't have this budget audited. I'm not making this up, guys. She said this just a few weeks ago when she was asked about how much they've already spent on illegal immigrants, saying that she doesn't track spending based on immigration status, which in a nutshell is her saying, hey, look, we don't care about how we spend your taxpayer money. Although she should probably care about where she gets her donations from, right? Reports have come out that a fundraising organizer responsible for contributing hundreds of thousands of dollars to her 2021 mayoral campaign has ties to the Chinese Communist Party. It's called the New England Chinese American Alliance. And they were able to somehow raise over $300,000 for her mayoral campaign. Gary Yu is the co-chairman of that group. Now, coincidentally, Yu is also a member of the United Front Work Department, which is an intelligence division of the CCP. Now, let's just face it, guys. Some things in life are inevitable, like turning 65 and having to deal with Medicare. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't trust the government to have my back, especially when big pharma and the insurance companies they're calling the shots. But thankfully, there is a company that does have your back. It's called Chapter. Now, if you or your parents are dealing with Medicare right now, Chapter can guide you through one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Just ask Julie from Kansas. She got roped into this horrible plan by a local broker and ended up overpaying just to see her doctor. But then, after switching with Chapter's help, she's saving $400 a year. Or how about Jamie in Texas? Chapter helped her get $600 back into her Social Security checks. Chapter was built by people who watched their own parents get burned by bad Medicare advice. And what did they do? Well, they got angry first, and then they did something about it. Now, their expert team, they compare every plan available. They give honest advice, and they treat you like family. There's no cost. It's completely free. There's no pressure. So whether you're about to join Medicare, you need a plan review, or you just want help for your parents, Chapter is here for you. So I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can visit them at askchapter.com/Ron, or you can call them on the phone at 909-563-8279. Now, guys, at this point, there are more questions than answers, right? But the optics aren't really helping Wu's case of protecting illegal immigrants. Now, as you guys know, she's only one of a handful of Democrats that continue to fight for the rights of people who illegally entered our country. To them, it's much more important to have due process rather than remove criminals from communities, even those that may have committed atrocious crimes within our country. Now, thankfully, Stephen Miller, he was able to explain what's wrong with this idea from the left.
And I just wish we lived in a country where the media gave 1/10 a damn as much about Americans who were murdered and brutalized and savagely killed, beaten to death, as they did about whether illegal aliens that we all agree are illegal aliens should get a million days in court and a million trials and a million this and a million that. There's 15 million illegal aliens that violate the country. If every one of them got the trial that you're asking for, it would take us centuries to remove them. Centuries. We'd be talking about this in 300-400 years. Their great-great-great-grandchildren would be the ones representing them in court. That's how long it would take. Illegal aliens who come to our country have to be removed, and they have to be removed quickly, and that is an essential component of having something that we like to call a country.
It's really questionable as to why Democrats feel as if it's their duty to keep these people stuck here in the United States. Now, the good news is that the White House is now taking care of our borders, besides, of course, having ICE remove criminals from within our communities.
ICE Denver arrested a 36-year-old citizen of Mexico who is registered as a sex offender and has been convicted of sexual assault of a child in Lake County, Colorado. ICE Baltimore arrested a 50-year-old citizen of China convicted of sex trafficking in Bel Air, Maryland. And ICE Boston arrested a 46-year-old citizen of Jamaica convicted of 3 counts of rape of a child and 2 counts of indecent assault and battery of a child under 14 in Boston, Massachusetts.
That was White House Press Secretary Leavitt laying out the arrests of some of these illegal aliens being deported by ICE. All of it coming as President Trump is now authorizing the Department of Defense to control some federal land along the border stretching across 3 states. And the new plan seems to be working, with March encounters at the southern border down 95% from March of last year. Let's bring in White House border czar Tom Homan. Tom, thank you so much for being here. It appears all of your efforts are working here. Now, why is it that you've been able to secure the border in this way and the previous administration was not?
Because I work for the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald Trump. He proves it every day. He proves every day that he's the greatest president in the history of this nation, because he took the effort. Day one, he knew what he had to do, because he did it during Trump 45, putting out executive orders, remain in Mexico, the 30 safe country agreements, end catch and release. And plus, he's got this out of the box thinking, as he always does, bringing the whole of government to securing the border, including DOD. Right now, today, as I'm talking to you, we have the safest, most secure border in the history of this nation, because of President Trump and the men and women of the Border Patrol, who are doing a great job, men and women of ICE doing a great job every day. Most secure border in history right now because of these efforts.
Tom Homan also called out sanctuary cities like Boston and made a fierce promise to the American people.
People want to know why I get so upset and emotional on news networks or testifying in front of Congress, because of what these sanctuary cities are doing. Sanctuary cities, sanctuary states are sanctuaries for criminals. You just talked about public safety threats arrested in Boston. Remember, the Boston mayor testified that Tom Homan was lying. We don't have a problem there. I said I was going to bring hell to Boston. Of course, the left hated that, but I meant that we're going to go to Boston, bring hell to illegal aliens that rape children. So now we got to go to Baltimore. I'll get together with Secretary Noem. We're going to increase resources in Boston. We got 2 Venezuelans just tortured a woman, left her for dead, torturing her with an electric drill in Washington State. So look, sanctuary cities, we're just going to increase resources there. Why? Because they're releasing public safety threats, significant public safety threats back in the community.
Now, moving on, guys, New York AG Letitia James is in a little bit of trouble. And to make it that much worse, her own words are now being used against her. Now, you guys remember Letitia James brought the case against President Trump regarding him allegedly inflating the value of his properties. And so now Letitia James is currently under question for amending her own records as a part of a real estate transaction. So what did she say about the law again? That even the president isn't above it? And hey guys, I keep getting messages from you guys, comments saying, hey Ron, I keep missing your videos. I keep missing the breaking news. Can you please make sure I get notified? So I've taken care of you guys. All you got to do is hit the link in the description down below this video or in the pinned comment and join the breaking news newsletter. That's it. Totally free.
It's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law. The president of these United States is not above the law.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
And now the Trump Justice Department may be a pain in her you-know-what. The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan.
Now, let's talk about principal residence for a second here. Former federal prosecutor Naima Rahmani says that this could be a huge issue for James. The expectation is that James should occupy the principal residence for at least 1 year. Now, again, that's in Virginia. Rahmani says that under New York law, when an office holder removes his residence from the territorial limits required by the statute, the office is rendered vacant. She signed the document dated August 17, 2023. She was supposed to live there 60 days after signing said document, something she obviously didn't do. And it's possible that she's prosecuted by the DOJ. What's that saying again? What goes around comes around? Now I want to redirect you guys to a recent live stream I did, and Democrats cannot catch a break as their superstar Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is currently under investigation also by the FEC. Reports are now showing that it's possible that she received donations from people that weren't even aware that they were given money. Make sure you guys check that video out. As always, thank you so much for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.